Yo guys, this is Reinhardt and this video is going to be about demonology utilities, so let's get started right away. And the very first thing I want to tell you guys is Demo has two different types of school that it's using in its rotation. The very first one is a shadow school where it connects the fear, the shadow bolt, corruption, all of the shadow spells and most of UCCs, and the other school that also connects the soulfire and the hellfire. So in that case, with the instant cast fear, you actually practically have a lot less chance to actually being locked out, because most of your damaging spells is auto cast, and the only thing that you should be casting in PvP most of the time is gonna be a soulfire in or outside of demon form. I'm still trying to debate whether it's useful or not, because some people told me you should not be using a soulfire in a demon form because it requires a lot of demonic fury, but I got crit people up to 80-90k with the soulfires, and that was with the Grimoire of Supremacy, so I'm not 100% sure on what's the best thing to do. But anyway, so as you guys can see, I was locked out here out of the Fear school, Shadow school, and I still was able to cast a Hellfire. Now let's talk about the Hellfire. I'm gonna get locked out here out of the Fire school, and I'm gonna still be able to actually cast my Fears, my Coals, everything. And only thing that went on CD was my Soulfire and my Hellfire. So actually that is a huge utility right there, because even though you're gonna get locked out of the Fire school, you still will be able to cast the Shadow school. And if you're gonna get locked out of the Shadow school, you still will be able to cast the Fire school, and that is absolutely pretty damn significant actually. So now let's move to another utility. For a second utility we have a knockback, which is on 12-second cooldown. It's very short, so you can keep trying and trying again to get that positional advantage. Works really well for a map such as Dalaran Sewers and Bless Edge Arena, and of course it's also really good for RPGs on the maps such as Arathi Basin LM, Eye of the Storm, and of course a new map Mines, where you can actually get that positional advantage and knock people off the contested area. The negative portion about it is that it's not the biggest knockback in the WoW, even though it has the shortest cooldown, and it also requires 50 demonic fury, and you have to be in a demon form, so you'll have to switch to a demon form and pop it out and then switch back, and of course that puts a huge dampen on your demonic fury generation. Next is probably one of the best utilities of a Demolux. Basically, when we switch to demon form and we going to cast the curse, it actually puts a buff on us. And what the buff is, it's basically an aura which puts all the debuffs of the curse onto the enemies, and it lasts for 30 seconds. And it does work with the Manora's Fury, so we practically can code the entire battleground, enemy battleground fight in a negative heroism aura, which is Curse of Enfablement, that reduces physical damage done by 20% and casting speed by 25%, and up to 45 yards range. It's pretty damn amazing. For next one, we basically have a defensive stance, Dark Apothecus, and right now with my current mastery levels, it reduces the physical damage taken by 16%, magical by 15%, and also gives us shit tons of armor. My luck actually in a meta state and in Dark Apothecus that you can have 100% of the time has more armor, a little bit more armor mitigation than my DK, who is a plate in the blood presence. So in terms of that, Lux actually can be very durable against a physical DPS. It especially helps us against accounts such as KFC, which is the most popular right now for surviving, because we basically running in a full plate defensive stance armor, plus having a Shadow Priest damage mitigation onto us if we're running into the Dark Apothecus. And it's, like I said, can be up 100% of the time. That combined with the Curse of Enfeeblement or Aura Enfeeblement will actually gonna give us a really long survivability. In this short clip I'm gonna show you how Demolux is capable of cutting the melee, how they are actually extremely viable for flag carrying and also for no defending. You guys know the Dark Apothecus mitigation, but also our Twilight actually becomes another ward or something like that, and it mitigates 54k damage every 10 seconds. It's pretty damn amazing. It does cost us a really huge amount of demonic fury to actually put it up on us, about 200. And by the way, I'm dueling this feral, we had one agreement. He does not pop any offensive cooldowns, but I'm not gonna pop any of my healing, control or DPS abilities. It's just gonna be me cutting, shadow bolting him to get my demonic fury and popping my Twilight ward all the time. As you guys can see, I'm actually cutting him very well. I picked up the flag one time our FC died, and by all means I'm not saying that the Demolocks are viable for FC 100% of the time, I don't think so, but I do definitely think that if our FC dies and Demolocks picks it up, they can actually sustain it for a long amount of time. I kited the enemy team for about 2 minutes straight when our FC died and I picked up the flag. And as you guys can see, I'm still kiting this feral, and the ferals are not the easiest classes to kite by any means, and especially they have a really good sustained damage via blitz, but I've been able to kite him for about roughly a couple minutes straight just because Demolock's capability of kiting, and they are pretty damn amazing about that. But of course this doesn't say us this combined with the Hour of Enfeeblement. I haven't been using it in this match because I didn't want to, I just wanted to show the kiteability of the Demolock, but this combined with actual kiting, Curse of Enfeeblement, our control, our healing, Demolocks can survive for a good long time, especially against the physical damage dealers. Here I'm gonna be dueling the Red Paws, and I'm gonna show you guys the awesomeness of the stun. We can basically practically do 2 stuns in a row. So I'm gonna fear this Pally via instant cast, and I'm gonna do a couple minor damage onto him to build up my demonic. If you look at my cooldowns, I don't have healing, I do not have my main burst right now just yet, and my secondary pet is on cooldown, and my trinket is on cooldown. So that's why how he gonna get me low here in his form. So I bought my Sacrificial Pact, which is 1 minute cooldown mitigation. I'm gonna start cutting him, pop my Twilight Ward because he does do a holy damage, and it's pretty damn amazing mitigation about him. I'm not gonna go with Dark Apothecus because in duels you actually want to use your Demonic Fury for a really good burst setup like I just did on him. But for a tanking and when you're getting pressure down a lot, Dark Apothecus or whatever it's called, the defensive form of a demo, is pretty damn amazing. And here I was able to actually kite him completely, lick back, leap front, stun him, lock him down for a good amount of time for me to actually get a kill without any healing cooldowns, trinket and secondary pet, which is actually pretty damn significant. So right here I'm gonna be dueling the Feral Druid, and like I said, the Demolock's capability of locking people down melee and actually controlling them is huge because of 2 different pets that we can summon that can stun, Grimoire of Service and a regular. And here I stunned him for a full duration after the fear. By the time he was able to control his character, I haven't even used all of my control yet. I haven't used my coil or my Grimoire of Service pet. I got him down to 50% HP. And a lot of people complain about the Frost Mages versus melee, but I think Demolock is gonna be just as good as a Frost Mage. Of course, playing a Demolock is probably not gonna be as easy as playing a Frost Mage, simply because we don't have this kind of like a lineup. Okay, this is Nova, kite, I get stunned, blink, I have 2 ice blocks to make sure I'm surviving. As a Demolock, you constantly have to be surviving, constantly being on your toes, good with your rotational cooldowns, and of course really good animations like this ones with the via cast wave. Anyway, so I'm fearing him at the end, and I did a minor burst on him, and I survived his burst with relatively ease because Meta Phase does give you 50% armor mitigation, which is completely awesome against the physical damage dealers. Last but not least, utilities, a couple of things that I want to touch base with is the very first one is that we can use our 200 Demonic Fury to summon a pet, but you have to be careful with it. I use my Demonic Fury to summon the pet right over here, but because I had a Demonic Rebirth, which allows us to summon instant cast summon pet after it dies every 2 minutes, it basically used up the Demonic Rebirth cooldown, and it also used up my Demonic Fury, and also puts the pet summon on 2-minute cooldown. That means that if you want to sacrifice some of your Demonic Fury to summon the pet, you have to be using it very wisely, especially you don't want to overlap it with Demonic Rebirth, and it's a 1-minute cooldown. During that time you won't be able to summon hard cast summon pets, which means is that you have to be using it only in emergency situations where you absolutely need the pet and you absolutely cannot summon it otherwise. Thanks a lot guys for watching this video. If you guys are interested about how Demolocks work, how do they generate a lot of Demonic Fury, and how their overall PvP rotation is, please check out my video Demolock Pressure Master. Also guys, If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up because it does help me out a lot. Subscribe to my channel for a future Demolux ownership videos. There are gonna be a lot of guides in terms of Demolux and their comps, and there are also gonna be a lot of dueling videos. I actually have a lot of fun dueling people as a Demolux. And of course there are gonna be other two. I actually recently picked up the Destrolac. I checked it out. Boy, it's cheesy as hell. So much damage. It's unbelievable actually. It's awesome. So I'm gonna be showing you all 3 different specs of Lux, all 3 different specs of 40Ks, and I'm getting my Shadow Priest out there slowly, but it's going up there. So everybody, thanks for watching, and do svidaniya.